Awesome. Thank you very much, everyone. How was the discussion? Was it enlightening or was it awesome? I'm pretty sure you learned a lot. And we want to hear from what you guys discussed, like holistically as a whole group. And we want to give a chance to our team leaders to discuss what the summary of the discussion, to hear the beautiful landscapes in South Africa, West Africa, North. Who's ready to begin? Nosy or Saratu? Who's gonna take it first?
I am happy to take
Oh no,
the first one.
it's our group leaders now going to summarize everything. So whatever you discuss is called kind of important. So Nosy, do you wanna go first and tell us how was the group, how was the experience, what did they share, summarize everything they shared about their countries?
Okay. So it was a very interesting session. There was a lot of commonalities within our group because many people either came from same areas, same cities, or just same countries. There was a lot of people from Zim. So they all found commonalities, and I think they felt a bit worried that after one person speaks, the other one is like, damn it, now what do I say? Because now they've said what I wanted to say. But also lots of groups from, it was mostly Zim, Namibia as well, Malawi, Congo, and Lesotho, and Kenya, and DRC. Apologies if I've left any other countries out, but it was a nice mix of a little bit of each place. And it was just interesting to hear the biggest economic sector, I definitely say, is agriculture and tourism. That was spoken about a lot for each respective person speaking about their country. But a lot of touching on issues of colonialism and how you could still see the impact of it today and how it's affected, be it maybe to an extent religious practices, and how we've just confined to, again, colonial ways of practicing religion, or some or other disintegration of cultural practices over the years as a result of colonialism was also mentioned quite a bit. And I guess another thing which I found interesting was how each person went into great detail to describe a unique geographical landscape or unique, be it tourist attraction or just the natural environment of certain attractions in their country. So with Namibia, how they went into detail to explain the beauty of their sand dunes meeting the ocean. In Zimbabwe, the story behind the Kariba River, the Congo River, and also the monuments that are found within Zimbabwe, the famous waterfalls that are found within Congo, and other famous rivers and attractions that are found within Malawi. So it was interesting to hear how each person could touch base on a different place, the beauty of Kenya and its people and their attractions there. And also just hearing the work that so many people do and their interests and hobbies were also very interesting to hear and touch base on. One participant in my group was from Kenya, I think it was Paul. Apparently he's into cinematography and he travels a lot, which is pretty cool. And another one of our participants, Lebogang from Lesotho, it's basically, I feel like she's basically in South Africa, being landlocked in South Africa, hearing the amazing work that she does with children, and especially in the health sector and what she does for them. Many people who come from a background of studying political science, which is interesting to hear and see. And those who also come from backgrounds of economics and how they were able to greatly explain the reasoning behind, for example, Zimbabwe's economic situation and why it is still at the point at which it is today, and how there could be so much more opportunities for it to come out of its crisis and economic state to being a better country overall. So it was very good. It was a overall.
Awesome. You're done?
At the top of my head, I'd say so. Yeah, I'll think of other points throughout the rest of the session.
Okay, so like you help us summarize everything in the context of the like a Word doc, like context wise, like put a little bit like bit of specifics, like a kind each country wise. Say, I know it's hard to capture that, but in a summary context, like many people hinted about. I didn't hear about culture. What you guys speak about culture? What happened? Did you dwell more on colonialism and forgot about your culture? I didn't hear about more culture. What's the uniqueness about southern culture? Did you talk about that?
No, we did, but as I said, it's so diverse and so broad that at the top of my head, as I was thinking, I realized I should go back to try and like summarize the broadness of it. Or I feel like it's something you can't just summarize in 1 or 2 words, but it was touched on as well quite extensively, and how each place is different. Each place has so many national languages and official languages that I never really knew about. How Southern Africa, for example, most of the countries easily have over 11, 12, 16 16 official languages and dialects, which was interesting to hear as well.
Very good. Okay, so and I hope you found like commonalities between the cultures, though different, but some common cultures in Zimbabwe, South Africa, to Botswana, even other places, Lesotho. I hope you found some interesting discoveries of similarities. So thank you very much. That was quite a very good, definitely mental exercise to elaborate more. Yeah, so we appreciate that, and thank you very much, Nancy. Very good. And now we turn to East and West. Sarat.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We had a very interesting, eye-opening, enlightening session where we got the Eastern region outnumbered. The Western, I think we're just 2 or 3 persons in once combined. Everyone that spoke was passionate and had liked to learn more about people. They've studied, most are students, some are working, some are political analysts. And we all spoke about the richness of our culture, first and foremost, ethnicity, the diversity, the difference in political organizations, what kind of systems were being practiced, and even the economy, where most were mostly agriculture, some were into oil, some were into cattle, and some even have some issues in their countries. Like, I think someone mentioned cattle rustling. I don't know if it's Sudan or Ethiopia. And yes, we spoke about governments, the challenges faced, and talked about tourism sites, places, there are waterfalls, and especially culture. They spoke about Maasai, that's the Kenyan people, and a lot. It was just rich. And we went further to discuss, I think for Nigeria, they mentioned population, size, and even the political. Someone from Uganda mentioned how delicate it is to talk about politics, and it's so interesting that everyone have their unique challenges and how we all want to progress from those challenges and just embrace our cultural diversity to make an inroad for an Africa. I think that's all I can remember for now.
Thank you very much. Like I said, very good. Like Yeah, you're gonna write it beautifully in a Word doc, and we shall share it on our social media platform because it's kind of quite unique, and we shall share it even in our group. Everyone who participated to find it, like they have a copy of what they said summary. So quick question. So very thank you, Saratu. We appreciate that, and the whole group, East and West and South, the whole groups, we appreciate that. That's very good. So my quick question now, what do you guys learn this? What has changed about your mind and on this? What have you learned? I started myself. I've heard about a lot. I've been in the groups also listening. Most of you calling about the biggest economy being agriculture. Agriculture from east to west north way, you know. So agriculture is the biggest like reliance of our livelihood in Africa. So the next question you should ask yourself, if you see how agriculture being our reliance, and you see the state of agriculture, the investments that go to agriculture, the entrepreneurs, venture into agriculture, businessmen, it's easier to put up a boutique than to start an animal farm or grow crops and everything. So it's a hidden potential. And I think the next billionaires of Africa will come from agribusiness. And this is something like, it's an eye-opening. Like, oh, even in Zimbabwe, agriculture is the reliance, heavily relied on. So, for people who want to do business, who want to venture out, please exploit unexploited places like agriculture. Everyone has a boutique. Everyone sells clothes. Everyone sells shoes. It's so common. So let's exploit those as business opportunities as policymakers. If you work in a government or a private sector or civil society organization, push more for more agricultural reforms, because once agriculture is empowered, everyone in Africa will cease to be poor, since it is heavily relied on. But our budget, even like a national level, a little go to agriculture, So that's a very abandoned area, because we couldn't have like severe hunger. Come on. We have 60% of Arab land uncultivated, in desert, just there. So, but we don't exploit this. How can you have land, water, temperatures moderate throughout the year, no winters, no crazy winters, maybe except in Lesotho, Namibia, but that's also not crazy winters, in South Africa. So how can we revolutionize this and touch on, the questions of identity? You might be different tribes, but you see there's a lot of commonalities between Africans, whether in Southern Africa, whether in Eastern Africa. And we have also the most common opportunities or challenges. So these are like a takeaway homes. What do you think about? If you want to venture into agriculture in Malawi, please get in touch. Another thing is keep the network. Please make sure the people who are in the group with Southern Africans or East Africans, you stay in touch with them. Yeah, so that's my takeaway. And I'll give like three to four people to say what they learned about this, and we'll call it a day. Otherwise, I think it was an amazing session. Anyone wants to share something so unique to you that you learned some idea? No? So I'll take that as like you've learned more and there's no need to contribute. So thank you very much, and I think we learned a lot, and continue to brainstorm, continue to connect, continue to expand more on those opportunities. I want to ask permission. Yeah, please go. Yeah. Please go after that. So thank you very much, everyone. It was lovely. Sunday.
Okay, can I proceed with President?
Say it again.
Can I proceed? Can I take time to speak a little?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'm very astonished to be here to hear about this diversity in Africa. We already know that Africa is rich in cultures and different language and different backgrounds. But today I learned a lot. That, for example, I am a medical doctor from Ethiopia, and also I am a lecturer in one of the university. I learned a lot. In Ethiopia, we have more than 80 nations and the different languages and the culture. But I heard that there are many countries with different, more cultures and more diversity than us. But I want to make a point. What that is, my point is that we African have different cultures and different backgrounds. We should use this as an asset to sustain our developments, not just for attraction of the tourism. Here, for example, in our country, we have very lots of culture, but we don't use that to sustain our developments, to manage our conflicts, for our developments. For example, if our culture, our diversity is more of it makes us vulnerable for civil wars and the conflicts than of using it for development and for unity and to grow together. So our problem in Africa is not diversity. It is utilizing diversity and sustaining the tolerance and using this diversity for our development. It's very great asset to have this lot of diversity. For example, if you see US and like US, what makes US great is its diversity, because they use this diversity. People from different backgrounds have different talents, different attitude, and different things. So when these things came together, they will achieve a lot of great points. But in Africa, we have different backgrounds and different culture. All this have very good things in their background, but we don't use that to make our country develop. Rather, we go to one another and create conflicts and civil war. So we should manage these things in your country, and you should give our hand to manage in our country. Everyone, this is my message. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jamal. That's a very powerful statement. Yeah, so you hear a lot of stories. Africans are divided, but people are divided by it. Even if you are siblings, you are not the same, But what unites people are interest to advance. So it's about orientation, figuring out the interest. Say, okay, I'm different, speak a different tribe or whatever, but I can, advance interest and collaborate with each other. So it's also a maturity of society at a certain point. Developing countries go through stages. It's also maturity of society and being accustomed to, interest. So like you said, if we could more concentrate about the interest, what benefits us, or even at the individual level, we should be more collaborating than fighting. So thank you very much, everyone. It was a good Sunday. See you next week. Have a very good day.
Thank you.